Welcome to another episode of All Good Things with BBB. I'm your host, Jessica Tharp, and I want to invite you into this next conversation with Big Papa Jake's Mobile Kitchen and how he started his business from the ground up and continues to be inspired to provide the craziest, delicious menu out there with his food truck right here in Central Illinois. So come on in and meet Jake.
All Good Things with BBB helps you be a better business.
So you've had a history with BBB longer than me, nearly your whole life.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, at one point in time, my mom was looking for a job, and she landed a nice secretary job working for the Better Business Bureau. And things just steamrolled, and next thing you know, a few years later, she is the first president, CEO in this area, first woman. And it,
legend.
Yeah, and it really took her to new heights in the community. And she really put a stamp on the community and really, I think, developed the Bureau in the community's eyes a lot.
How do you think that impacted you when you went to go start your business? Just having that experience of, kitchen table talk about the awful guys or the good guys or just her working at the Bureau?
It gave me a lot of insight on good versus bad. Yeah. What to do as a small business owner, what not to do. And with my history in customer service, all of these years that I had a real job, I guess, just the combination of both of those really kind of put me on the right path to be where I'm at today.
Well, talk a little bit about pre-Big Papa Jake's. What'd you do before then, before you started your business?
I started my careers in a restaurant. 15, walked into a local restaurant, Peoria Heights, family owned. I'm sure a lot of people know it, the Penguin Tap. That was my first job. And that's when I kind of really discovered that I liked working in a kitchen and cooking because I see the joy food brings to folks. And then an opportunity arose. I got into the wholesale side of the alcohol, wine and spirits business here locally. And I did that for 21 years, which kind of helped me in this direction of my career because it also showed me the ins and outs of behind the scenes of other local restaurants, other local bars, taverns, and just see how all these other small businesses run. And it gave me a lot of insight to how things work, and back to what works and what doesn't work.
One of the things I think is really unique about you is how you develop relationships with so many people. Would you attribute that to your kind of history in that industry?
I think my sales background has given me a lot of people skills, and I just kind of fell into this sales thing and just realized I kind of had a knack for it and just kind of rolled with it. I think that's kind of groundbreaking around here. There's not a lot of sales background folks that have gotten into food industry, I guess.
Yeah, I want to talk about that more specifically. So tell us about that pivotal point in your sales career where you're like, I'm not feeling this anymore. I've kind of got this idea brewing, and the confidence to jump from something that you've been doing for 20 years into something totally different.
It was tough. It was a very hard decision because for years, my job provided us the health insurance that we needed. And in today's world, that was a big deal. I was very afraid to walk away from that because I didn't want to take that away from my family. Sure. That was a tough move, but lots of support from the wife, lots of support from family to say, go ahead and make that jump, do what makes you happy.
And I know during that time, because I was the benefit of some of the taste testing that went on, but you were playing with all kinds of recipes before you made the jump. I think a lot of people get into that spot where they're feeling like, I don't know that this is my forever thing. I kind of want this new idea. Can you talk about the process of going from the ideas that are circling in the head and the recipes that you're trying into the reality of Big Papa Jake's?
Yeah. So what really helped with that was COVID. The whole COVID shutdown really, really helped with that, because right before COVID really took a strong lockdown for everybody is right when I had taken my early retirement. And the whole time we were in that lockdown phase of COVID, I did a lot of cooking for friends and family and playing with recipes, playing with ideas. And it didn't really take hold that I was going to start the business until everybody was like, man, you could sell this. And then so I'm like, all right. So I did a few pop-up fundraisers for local charities and organizations under a tent, rolled out a flat top grill and just kind of went with a few things and then started developing from there. And after seeing the success that I had with those few pop-ups, I'm like, we might have something. So let's start looking at business plans. And then I took about a year of research and development and business planning to make sure, like, when I rolled into this and I opened that window for the first time, it was 100% go and everything was right.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure everything was right from the get-go.
Huge, huge benefit. I mean, here you are, 21 to 25, so 4 years later. I mean, in that industry, in the food truck industry, in the food industry, that is the worst couple of years. And here you are thriving. So that planning, a crucial step. Are there any resources that you would recommend for people?
I did a lot of research on the internet, and then just knowing some folks that were still in the industry from my time in sales, just reached out to them, asked them a few questions, you know. And when I started looking at this business plan, there wasn't a lot of mobile food vendors in the Peoria area at the time. Mm-hmm. So I thought this would be an opportunity to do something a little different than just an average food truck, and really develop something new. And then in the last year and a half, this industry has just blown up, and Peoria has become quite the mecca in central Illinois for the food truck mobile food vendors. Mm-hmm. So
what was it like when you first got into it, though?
It was scary at first, am I going to do everything correctly? There is a lot that goes into permits, insurance, business insurance, personal insurance, mm-hmm. Tax forms, just anything that goes along with that small businesses. And I'm sure all small businesses of every sort deal with all of this. Mm-hmm. But it kind of opened my eyes to, wow, there's a lot behind this, mm-hmm. to make sure that we do it legit. And it was kind of scary, but that's where I think taking that year time frame to get all of my ducks in a row really helped, mm-hmm. because then I could tackle each individual item. And then if I didn't quite understand it, I wasn't under the gun to figure it out right then and there that day. I could ask questions, And a lot of the local government agencies, like the Tazewell County Clerk's Office, really helped me through the process of getting that small business started and getting a LLC started and stuff. They were very small business friendly, and I do appreciate that. There was somebody there that knew, okay, mm-hmm. you need to fill out this paperwork, this paper, this signature, this documentation.
Yeah.
And they helped me walk through that process, and they were a good help. So it was nice.
So what I'm hearing from you is a lot of intention before you got started. And one of the things I've observed about your business the last several years is you're so intentional with your schedule and balancing who you're working for, when you're working, to make sure that the business isn't running you. Can you give some advice on that?
Yeah, work-life balance is very, very important. And I think that was one of the reasons I kind of went to want to run my own business is I needed that work-life balance. I wanted to be able to enjoy my, I want to say it, later years in life. But I wanted to be able to set my own schedules and be able to plan things out. And there's nobody else controlling it. Mm-hmm. So if I have a really, really heavy, lots of events one week, I really don't have anybody else to blame but myself. So it's not like I can be upset with somebody that's working me too hard. I work myself too hard. I love partnering with other local businesses around here to do like employee appreciation lunches and things like that. I really enjoy those because they're so grateful. And I enjoy seeing the joy of just a random sandwich that you can offer somebody for a lunch on a Friday, and that's just made their week, So I'm like, if I can offer somebody that 30 seconds of joy, it makes me feel good.
Yeah. I love it. Have there been times that you learned something from the experience that you're like, okay, I'm going to do this differently. We can do this better. So
I have learned a lot from partnering with local market organizers. I think that was a whole new aspect for me to learn about with all like people that do vendor markets, flea markets, farmers markets. And I didn't realize how much that those folks really had to do to organize that many vendors. And then I've used those relationships to grow my business. But at the same token, I've also helped them grow theirs.
Yes.
So that's what's important, because what I offer is different from what they offer. And then that brings more variety to the vendor's event or the event coordinator's event, and it helps them grow. It makes them bigger for everybody. So everybody wins.
All the ships rise.
Yes.
That's a great mindset, Jake, because I think a lot of people are worried about losing clients or losing business if I work with someone that does something similar. What advice would you give someone that's kind of hesitant to working in their community or working with other people in their industry?
It's very few and far between that you will find somebody that is truly offended if you come in and you're doing something close to them. Most of them look at it as an opportunity to grow their business also, because not only is now it's their customers that they're seeing, but it's also your customers that see them and vice versa. And it helps kind of feed off of each other. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody's business grows that way. And then some of the events we do where there's multiple food trucks, multiple vendors, people bring their families out. And if somebody wants one of my dishes, they get it. But if somebody else in their family wants a pizza or a burger or a hot dog or, whatever, they can take their that family member to that window and get something. And they can take their other kids to the other window, know. So I think it kind of grows everybody's business a little bit that way.
Yeah. And having that mindset of supporting.
Yeah. I mean,
everyone.
Everybody in our industry kind of needs to support each other because we're all small businesses. And it doesn't matter if you sell burgers and fries or if you're selling tacos or jewelry or cotton candy or elephant ears, ice cream, we all kind of have to support each other. And it helps, it really does.
I love it. So talk about BBB accreditation for Big Papa Jake's.
I think having that logo out there and how far the Bureau has come over the years, I think it helps the folks that are out there that see my trailer with the logo on it to say, yeah, this is a small business and just not a guy out flinging food.
Something.
So I think it helps the general public go, oh, that's a good thing. When I do events with other businesses that bring me in for employee lunches or special events, they're also members. So there's the networking aspect of being a member of the Bureau that has really taken the business to a new height.
Yeah. Well, I hope you got a lot out of this episode with Big Papa Jake's Mobile Kitchen right here in Central Illinois. He's a BBB accredited business who started with intention and trust. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and thanks for watching.
All Good Things with BBB helps you be a better business.